Ecosystem Coral Reef. I was really excited to get this game because we're doing a unit study on the ocean this summer. And so listen to the back, right? Dive deep to build your own ecological network in Ecosystem Coral Reef, a card drafting game of marine competition. Players choose, pass, and arrange cards representing a diversity of organisms found in the Great Barrier Reef, including coral, clownfish, sea turtles, and sharks. Earn points by aligning animals with the habitats and food sources where they most flourish. Diversify your food web to maximize your bonuses. Each time you play, you build a one-of-a-kind ecosystem as you strive to balance the delicate connections between all living things. So I figured, oh, they're going to learn about the coral reef and the way that it interacts and what great pictures and stuff. But now, I don't even know if I'm going to keep it. Let me show you why. Ecosystem Coral Reef game. You can see it is a compact game, which is nice for storage purposes. It comes with these cards. Each player will need a card. They're all the same. And it explains what each card is and what the scoring would be for that card. And then there's also instructions. The basic premise of the game is that you're going to take these little cards and deal them out. So everybody has 10. And you're taking turns laying them down to create a grid of 20. So there will be 20 spots taken. Everybody lays down one card, then you pass your hand and you pick up their hand, and then everybody lays down a second card. Pass the hand, pick up their hand. So that, I do like that. I think that's an interesting way to play because you can strategize some by looking at the cards, but not completely because you don't know as they rotate what other people are going to take. So you kind of just have to take what you think is most important. So I did like that part. But here it explains what the groups are. There's producers, prey, or predators. And so most every card, except for the octopus and the turtle, have these little icons in the bottom corner to let you know. So this is a producer, and then we have prey, and then there'd be predators too. So, so that's good, having some categories there. Oh, and I guess the whale, oh no, whale has predator on it. But the scoring itself, to me, didn't really add up to any sort of learning. You know, clownfish score 2 points for adjacent plankton and coral. Well, they live in coral, so that makes sense. Perhaps they eat plankton, and that's why that's there. Crabs score 2 points for each plankton in the same row. Again, perhaps because they eat plankton, I'm not sure. Eels score 4 points for each additional adjacent prey. Groupers, clown, and crabs, as long as the eel is adjacent to coral. If the eel is not adjacent to coral, it scores 0. So they're for each card to have all these specific things, it's like you really have to read this every single time. And I'm sure if you played it enough, you would memorize it. But to me, the game wasn't that special enough to spend that much time memorizing it. And my goal with it was more for them to learn about the coral reef through playing the game, not learn what the scoring is for each card. And I feel like that's what it would become at the end, would just be like, oh, well, I know how to score this card. And here at the end, it does go over each of the cards and says a little bit about them, but it doesn't really relate. Like here, the humpback whale, it says that they sing songs. So it's talking about the songs that they sing, which is interesting, but that has nothing at all to do with the scoring, which is to flip over an adjacent card and then get 2 points for each krill in your ecosystem grid. So again, it didn't connect enough for me, and because it requires so much planning and thinking through just the card point part of it and not actual coral reef living science part of it, I just don't think it's worth our time of digging into. It does have this scorecard too, and I'll show you how we scored it and how much fun we had doing that. Okay, so we should do it animal by animal, but you're right. The whale needs to flip over one adjacent card. So I would flip over this guy. He's only worth 1 point. And then flip over the whale, touching that whale. Okay, so now we'll start with the octopus. So now we get all these cards here, and the octopus are 3 points. So 3, 6, 9. So then down here on this, we'll find octopus, and put 9 points. Okay, and then the whale was 2 points for all the krill that are in your ecosystems. So now we find the krill cards, 2, 4, 6, 8. So that's 8 points for that. 8 points for the whale. So then you find the whale. Okay, and then the krill is 1, 4, and 9 points for the connected group, but you have 4. So I don't know what it would be above 3. So we'll look over here. All right, that's probably enough filming. I think that gets the point across. I don't know, guys. I just don't want to play this again. And my son said he was not going to play it again. And so I think it's a neat idea, but I just wish it was a little different. I hope this was helpful, and I'm sorry, Ecosystem Coral Reef. I'm sure you had all the best intentions. Remember that real life is messy and beautiful, and better with books. Shout out to my mom for doing a little bit of filming for me so that you could see how the scoring part went. This thing. Is it going?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I think so. Did you start it?
Yeah.
Okay. Should be.
Yes, it is. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to add up this whole column. And like my mom pointed out, it does say genius on the box. So, who do I think the Ecosystem Coral Reef game might be good for? Maybe somebody who really likes like just a strategy game, and for whatever reason they would rather do this than say Catan or something more interesting and involved. We're going to be letting this one go.